Welcome to Do You Know? And today we would like to know if you know Howard County Council member Mary Kay Sigaty. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great today. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. We're going to start right into it. The first question, who are your favorite writers?
Well, that one was a little bit difficult, and I went back to something my brother told me years ago. He said when you have a library, you have to cull it every now and again, but the ones that are your favorites you always keep. So I went to look at my shelf, and I came up with one of my absolute favorites is M.F.K. Fisher. I love the way she writes about food in France. So, and you can taste the food, so I love her. I've always been a fan of crime novels, so P.D. James jumps right to the top as somebody that I started reading when I was a lot younger. I think I started reading when she wrote her first book and have continued to do so and enjoy that. Jane Austen is on my shelf, probably for many. A woman named Kathleen Norris, who writes out of North Dakota, is also on my shelf. Basically, I think because my family comes from the Dakotas, and she tells some interesting tales about many things. And then I love the humor of Bailey White. So those are the ones that I could come up with as the kinds of things that I would read on an ordinary, or that I've saved.
Excellent. Okay, what are you reading now, or what have you recently finished?
Well, right now, given the many governmental things I have to read, I'm having fun at the moment reading Rita Mae Brown, because I absolutely love her as well, because I think she's really humorous, and I'm reading her book, Alma Mater.
Oh, very good. Something completely different. What is your favorite breakfast food?
Actually, blueberry pancakes,
Oh,
especially made with wild Maine blueberries.
And maple syrup or just good old-fashioned off the shelf?
Are you kidding? How about Maine maple syrup?
There you go.
Vermont maple syrup, Canadian maple syrup, but out of the tree.
Very good. Which living person do you most admire?
Oh, see, now that's another really hard one. I started thinking about famous people, and then I started really thinking about where my admiration really was. And I wish I could say my mother, but she's no longer alive. So I think the next living person that I would have to actually talk about is my Aunt Lucille. She's going on 90 years old.
Oh my.
She was born in the 20s. She was a farmer's wife. She and didn't have the opportunity to go to college, literally had to live the life, the hand she was dealt. And she is, to this day, sharp as a tack, opinionated as all get out, loving and willing to just give to everybody. And I look at her as just an incredible role model.
Sounds like a remarkable woman.
She really, really is.
What is your most treasured possession?
Oh. I don't have many, because for me, material things just don't matter so much. But I will tell you that the things I care about the most are the ones that have come to me through my mom. So I have two. I have a set of glasses and a pitcher, French crystal, that were my grandmother's wedding gift. And when my mom moved from South Dakota to Connecticut, and her mother said, I'm not likely to see you very much anymore, she gave her those. And so then when I moved out of the house, I had always loved them, and my mom said, and now they're yours.
Very good. Which talent would you most like to have?
I'm actually quite satisfied with myself at the moment.
Very good.
So, but when push comes to shove, I'd really like to have a little more rhythm than I do, because I am a terrible dancer and I can't sing, yet these are things I love, and I look at other people and wish, oh, could I, would I, did I have the ability to do so? So I kind of say, okay, that would be
now,
something.
we will have instructors at Evening in the Stacks.
I know, that's why I'm looking forward to it.
What do you consider the most overrated virtue?
Okay, these are really hard questions. And this one I had to give a lot of thought to, because there are many things that are real positives, that are virtues, that I don't think are overrated. Loyalty is not overrated. Ingenuity is not overrated. Self-reliance is not overrated. What I really think, though, in looking at I went to Wikipedia to get a list, what are they all? And the one that jumped out at me as really overrated is this concept of fairness being a virtue. Because it was always, you always wanted things to be fair. My children always wanted things to be fair. Everybody wants things to be fair. Well, in reality, from my perspective, there is no fair. And so when you talk about it and people expect it, and it doesn't exist, I think that makes it really overrated and gives people a sense of something that can't be.
That's the first time we've heard that one. Very good. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
Oh, golly, I wish that I had a much better sense of humor. My daughter says, Mom, you're humorless.
Well, I think you're doing very well today.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm working really hard at it. So changing myself would be that it would come much more easily, that I would, in fact, look at life from a little lighter side than I do. My friends say, you are very serious. Yeah.
Which words or phrases do you most overuse?
I had to ask my friends because I can't necessarily tell, right? And so I went around this morning at work and I said, okay, so this is one of the questions, and my friend Mary said, the thing we've been hearing you say most recently, and it's getting tiresome, is, here's the deal. So,
yes,
right, exactly. Again, back to seriousness.
Yes. And finally, what is your idea of perfect happiness?
At this point in my life, because I think this would not have been what I would have said a few years ago. But at this point in my life, perfect happiness is literally being any place where both of my children are with me together.
That's very true. Very true. Right. We have been listening to Howard County Council member Mary Kay Sigaty. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you for the invitation.